Welcome to an all-new edition of The Pro, presented by The Focus. We'll be taking an in-depth look at the players, tendencies, and basketball nuances that drive success at the highest level. In this episode, we're spotlighting Washington Mystics rookie point guard Georgia Amoore and examining why her impact extends far beyond the box score. From her ability to stretch the floor as a shooter and create opportunities as a dynamic playmaker to competing defensively without becoming a liability. Amoore has quickly emerged as one of the Mystics' most important pieces. Her continued development could ultimately be the X factor that determines not only whether Washington secures a playoff berth, but how deep the Mystics can advance once the WNBA playoffs begin. Let's start by breaking down her impact on the offensive end of the floor. Georgia Amoore dishes out of a beautiful fast break pass on the break to Sonia Citron. This is a great indication of her court awareness and playmaking as she gets the ball out ahead to Citron for an easy lay-in before facing a set defense. These are the opportunities that make Amoore a difference maker if the Mystics can continuously get stops and rebound the ball. Amoore sets a delayed goal screen as Sonia Citron Kiki Iriafen execute a pick and roll action. As Iriafen rolls to the basket, drawing a lot of attention from the Valkyries, Amoore jumps out from the mid-post for an elbow three. Onyenwere surveys the floor and finds Shakira Austin flashing to the free throw line. With the fear of the super athletic Austin being able to get downhill, Valkyries forward Gabby Williams gets caught too far out of position. As Austin finds a wide open Amoore, Gabby can't recover, and Amoore nails the corner three. Amoore coming off an Iriafen screen, probes, draws the defense, and finds Iriafen for the jumper. Amoore setting up in the opposite corner receives the pass. She drives right and spins around Valkyrie's point guard Veronica Burton baseline and finds Onyenwere spotting up across the court for a three-pointer, which she nails. Amoore crosses half court, being defended by Talbot. As she slows up outside three-point range at the elbow, Mystics All-Star forward Kiki Iriafen comes over to set a screen. As she sets the screen, Amoore, anticipating Talbot jumping over the screen to not let her get downhill, hits Talbot with a nasty crossover going away from the screen. She completely loses Talbot and nails the three-pointer. Defense. Amoore defends Veronica Burton. Valkyrie center Kia Stokes comes over to set a screen. Amoore goes under the screen and Burton turns on the afterburners and blows by Amoore for the easy lay-in. Amoore defense on Burton leads to a forced pass that results in a turnover. Citron deflects the pass, Shakira gathers the ball, races up the floor, and finds Citron spotting up outside three-point range. Citron tip passes the ball to Iriafen, who overpowers Burton and scores inside. Aces point guard Chelsea Gray brings the ball up the floor. She calls a set and finds AJ Wilson setting up in the high post. Amoore defending 6'2" Stephanie Talbot on the weak side corner commits the cardinal sin of not being in position to see woman and ball. Talbot, seeing Amoore ball watching, cuts right behind her and posts Amoore up deep inside the paint. Wilson surveying the floor sees the mismatch, passes over the top to Talbot, and Talbot easily scores. Sonia Citron didn't have time to come over and help the play happen so quick. Gray finds Wilson off a pick and pop action at the top of the key. Amoore is defending Dana Evans in the weak side corner. Aces center Brianna Turner, after seeing Mystics forward Angela Dugalich leave her to defend Wilson, rolls to the basket. Amoore is in position to slide over to prevent the roll. Instead, she watches Wilson find Turner for an easy lay-in. As talented as this young Washington Mystics roster is, Georgia Amoore may ultimately be the player who determines just how high this team's ceiling can be. If she can become a more efficient, consistent perimeter shooter, defenses will be forced to respect her scoring ability, opening driving lanes, creating better spacing for fellow All-Star Sonia Citron, Kiki Iriafen, as well as Shakira Austin, who has played at an All-Star level this season, and Michaela Onyenwere to attack the paint, collapse defenses, and generate quality offense. Her ability to keep defenders honest doesn't just improve her individual production, it elevates the efficiency of the entire Mystics offense. Just as important will be her impact on the defensive end. If Amoore continues to compete defensively, avoids becoming a matchup that opponents can consistently exploit, limits turnovers, and continues making sound decisions as the team's floor general, she makes Washington a much more complete basketball team. Those improvements translate directly to more defensive stops, better transition opportunities, and a more formidable team identity on both ends of the floor. With 14 games remaining and the Mystics sitting just 4.5 games behind the second-seeded Golden State Valkyries, a team Washington defeated on the road before the All-Star break, they still have an opportunity to climb the standings. If Georgia Amoore can consistently provide steady two-way play at the point guard position, don't be surprised if the Mystics not only improve their playoff position, but emerge as one of the WNBA's toughest outs once the postseason begins.